Yes, बड़े बड़े शहरों में छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं. So
Ma'am, we are live in
okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are live, ma'am.
A very warm good afternoon to everyone. I'm Dr. Kavita Pandey, heading the Department of 5 Years Integrated Course in Bioanalytical Sciences from Khalsa College. I welcome each one of you for this international webinar on Youth for Human Rights. Human rights is a universal standard, and you being the youth have to stand for it. Let me just quickly tell you about our institution, Khalsa College. Khalsa College was established in the year 1937, and we are celebrating, or working rather, the 83rd academic year. It's a proud moment because in these 83 years, we have contributed a lot of achievers to the society and helped in building up the society. We have around 8,000 students studying with Khalsa College under different streams of science, commerce, and arts. We have a full-fledged research wing at Khalsa, which is called as GNIRD, which houses about 5 different innovative courses. I would request everyone else to please mute themselves. And FIIC is one of the most innovative courses under the umbrella of GNIRD at Khalsa College. I would like to just touch upon some of the awards and achievements that Guru Nanak Khalsa is a recipient of. It is accredited by the NAC with A grade and a CGPA of 3.54. It has been awarded the College with Potential for Excellence by DBT, awarded the Star College status by DBT. It is the recipient of 5th grant by DST. It is recognized by the Scientific and Industrial Research Organization, CIRO, and is also the best college in the urban area awarded by the University of Mumbai. We have one of its kind facility called the National Facility for Biopharmaceuticals, which has supported million children still working under labor in more than 70 countries across the globe. It is still a crime to be in gay relationship. I mean, there is, as I said, the basic dignity that one needs to live a life is what is human rights. We think that we know everything about it, but it is not the case. Therefore, today we have gathered to build in, to empower you guys and all of us to better know and claim our rights so that we can together build a more brighter, more sustainable, and more inclusive future to have safe and inclusive spaces. With that, I will quickly come on to the two speakers that we have for today's session. We have Ms. Sheena Chauhan, who is the South Asian Ambassador for United for Human Rights, world's largest NGO, non-government human rights education program. She's the recipient of Hero Award at the UN in New York for her work, which was spreading awareness to 70 million people about the human rights in just 1 month. That's incredible. She is the co-founder of Born Free and Equal, a podcast that has reached 100 million people since the lockdown by collaborating with the famous names in Bollywood and other areas. Stars like Sonakshi Sinha, Raveena Tandon, Nandita Das, etc., etc. The second speaker we have with us is Fraser Scott, who is an international ambassador for the United for Human Rights. He has helped ensure that over 100 schools and universities in India have human rights in their curriculum. He is also the co-founder for Born Free and Equal podcasts. Well, professionally, Mr. Fraser is a writer. He owns a company, Album Artists, where he has worked prior with bands like Coldplay, Backstreet Boys, etc., to raise over 18 crores for children. With this short introduction, I will leave the podium with the speakers. Over to you, and all the best to the children. Make the most of this opportunity. Once again, I welcome all of you on behalf of Khalsa. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. That was really a very warm welcome. And hello to everyone. We are very, very excited to be here with all of you for a cause that we really, really believe in and that we strongly want to propagate because we believe you are the future leaders of tomorrow. So let's dive straight into the program. So the first thing I'd like to do is to go over with you all what the purpose of the organization, which is United for Human Rights, is. So let me just give you our purpose basically. Now, so United for Human Rights is the youth component of the Youth for Human Rights International, and the main purpose of it is to make people and especially the youth, inspire them to become advocates for change, for peace, and tolerance as well. The main purpose of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, who supports and is a part of the program, is to spread this amongst education institutes and also, in different institutes all over the world. We've reached how many million people? 700 million people all over the world.
Yeah, Youth for Human Rights has reached 700 million people with their human rights.
With the human rights, and we are the largest non-governmental education program in the world. So that's the first thing. And we are here to share with you, we're going to be sharing with you some award-winning films, 30-second films, some documentaries, which will give you more information and education and empowerment about your rights, and also take you through a beautiful music video in the end, which is also very award-winning. So there's lots to learn. Let's get straight to it. So Fraser, you want to ask the first question?
So we're going to test if everyone's listening now. So the first test of your listeningness is to answer the question, please, in the comments. What is human rights? First person to answer gets a lollipop.
A virtual one.
A virtual one.
What are human rights? Like, what is your understanding?
Fundamental rights of common people.
Shanavaz says that.
Shanavaz. Good,
Very good.
Shanavaz.
Fundamental rights of common people. Yes.
True.
Very true. Karan says basic rights that protect people.
Renisha says rights that no one can take away. True. Priyanka gives one of the rights, which is the right to life. Umaiman says the basic rights of freedom. Afia Banu says basic rights. Good, good. It's going so fast now that I can't keep up, but good.
It's really nice to see you be interactive because this is an interactive session. And somebody says right to speak.
Yes.
Sankalp says inalienable rights. He means rights.
Basic rights and freedom.
Freedom.
Yes, the right to get respect. True. Good, good.
Brilliant.
Okay, thank you for this. So, Dr. Kavita,
Yes.
could you post the documentary link, please?
So we are going to give you all a link. Yes, freedom of speech. Everybody's, yes, you are absolutely right. It is the basic right which humans have and that they are entitled to basically. Priya says human rights include the right to life and liberty and freedom from slavery and torture. Freedom, yes, of opinion. So, thank you, Dr. Kavita. So, everyone, please press this link, which is being posted here, which is what?
It's called documentary.
Yeah.
Dr. Kavita has just posted it. If you can please click that link and watch that documentary, it's about 10 minutes. We'll meet you back here in 11 minutes. Okay? Start, go.
Please watch the documentary. So, it's 4:31 now. So we'll see you at 4:41.
Ashish, are you there? Ashish Aldrin.
Yes, ma'am.
या आशीष वो जो लिंक मैंने अभी लगाई है वो पेस्ट कर दो इवन ऑन द यूट्यूब.
Okay.
थैंक्स.
Okay, great. So it's good to see that people have watched it. Yes, Prerna, you can ask your question. That's good, Dipali, that you liked it. Were all the 30 rights given at once?
No, all that was given just now was the documentary that shows you the basic history of human rights.
No, so were all 30 rights granted to people at once? That's what you're asking.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, what happened was that after the Second World War, that's when they were all written down. So in that case, yes, all when the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights was written, they were all given at once. Then, yes.
Glad to see that you all have liked it. You like the animation.
Yes,
you
it's
like
very
the
good.
information. That's wonderful.
Yes, we agree. We love the video. It makes us cry. We've seen it more than 100 times.
And it's basically, it gives you the history, to understand anything, you need to understand what the history of it is, right? So let's move on. And
So the question that I have for you is, what did you learn from watching that video?
Probably here you can pick up the students and ask them to unmute themselves and answer.
why can't we see the students? Because
Okay.
we see a page. How can we get to see
I think that they're down there.
FIC department? Oh, there they are.
Yeah, people.
That we have fought for the rights since many decades, and now we are the youths who should be aware of it. True?
Yeah.
Rohit, every human should raise her voice for her rights. True. Don't discriminate on the basis of caste, religion, color, and so on. That's Ayesha. True. Niti says we have 30 rights, but unfortunately, not everyone is aware of these rights. Very true. Umaima, we have learned that how the rights were granted to human beings. True. Alice, everyone has equal rights. We must raise our voice if we're not given justice. Ratuja, we should be aware and make others aware of it. True. Manas, we should make others aware about their rights. True. Simran, and we should spread awareness about the rights. Good. Okay, it's gone too fast for me. I can't keep up.
Respect each other and live peacefully, says Kamal.
Yes. Dr. Kavita, you can unmute yourself and discuss, but first post your name in the chat box.
That's for the students.
Yes.
Priyanka Pandey says there are human rights and not everyone is open to its awareness is needed. That is a very important point Priyanka made, which is that, the basic problem in our country or anywhere around the world is that we have these 30 rights. Honestly, even I didn't know. I've been the ambassador for now almost 10 years of South Asia, but I did not even know that we had 30 basic human rights laid by the United Nations Universal Declaration. If anybody asked me how many rights do we have, I would be like, literally like that. And I think if you know your rights only, then can you stop it from being violated, right? Like one thing we really believe is that most of the problems that come in or are existing is because of lack of right to education. And if you look at the underprivileged, they are not even given that right. Girl child, for example, or child labor, human trafficking, prostitution. I mean, there's so many things that exist because of the lack of people being aware of their rights. So I think it's very important people like us, you, me, all of us get together and especially you people become advocates for change. So the next thing I'd like to do is to post our website, which has, we don't have these booklets. We normally give out booklets. We will give it out when we come to your school, but it's humanrights.com, right?
Yeah, if you like, I'll post the one with all of the videos on.
So we are posting this link And this is a link for all of you to copy paste in your browser or wherever you can. All the human rights are here, but please don't press this link right now. This is only for you to have and keep. Do not open it, do not press it, because we'll be taking you through the videos. But this is just basically where all the 30 human rights are, and you can have this link and look at it later after the seminar. So let's move on.
What we're going to do now is we're going to play individual rights, and then we're going to ask you questions about that right. And we're actually going to do what Dr. Kavita suggested, which is have you talk instead of just type. So the first right we're going to show is the right to not be discriminated against, the right to no discrimination. So Dr. Kavita, could you post? Great, thank you. So if everybody could watch this right, don't discriminate. Dr. Kavita has just posted the link. And if you can come back and let us know once you've watched that video, that would be great.
It's a 30-second video, so we'll give you 40 seconds.
Actually, 60 seconds.
Oh, it's 60 seconds. Okay.
Yes, that's true, Simran.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Great. Happy you liked it.
This don't discriminate one that you just watched is actually one of our favorite. Whenever we show it in schools, and when we showed it to kids, they were jumping around because you could see how even discrimination happens in basic level of bullying. Bullying is a big thing where discrimination happens, like tall, short, dark, fair, fat, thin. There's a lot of discrimination, and of course then there's men and women and all of that.
True. Okay, so the question that we're going to ask is, where have you seen this right being broken? And we are going to ask it to Anandi Rebelo. Oh no, sorry. We're going to ask it to
I knew that.
we're going to ask it to Ayesha Bear.
How can we see all of them? We have to go down, I think.
Ayesha,
Aisha,
can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am.
how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm okay. How does it feel to be the first one to be picked on?
Little nervous.
Okay. So, Ayesha, where have you seen this right being broken?
Aisha, you can switch on your camera and answer. That will be better. Aisha?
Are you still there, Ayesha?
Hello.
Hello, Ayesha.
Aisha?
Yes, switch on your camera and attempt the answer. Okay, meanwhile, can Abhishek Sharma be ready in case Aisha is not ready? Abhishek Sharma, would you like to attempt that question?
Yes, ma'am.
Switch on your camera first.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay. Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. I
Hi.
hope you are doing fine in this quarantine.
Yes.
Very well, thank you.
Yes. So coming back to the questions that you have asked about, have I seen any discrimination? Well, I have seen one, and it's very heart touching because I have a neighbor next to him, and his dad, and he belongs to a very rich family. And same at that building, there's a guy who comes from a poor background. So all the people are attracted towards that rich guy, rather, and that poor guy is always left out. So I
Yeah,
think this line of people being rich and people being poor is the main discrimination between the human beings. Like
yes,
it's a
Yeah.
human tendency that we always tend to go towards the rich person, leaving behind the poor ones. So this is
very
my
true.
opinion.
Very true. And
Yeah.
where have you seen this right being upheld? Like, where have you seen it being followed?
To the very best example that I can give is women empowerment. Like women have been taken forward in each and every aspect. And the recent example that I would give is India recently has brought up five Rafales from France, and in the history, for the first time, a female uh, pilot would be flying the planes. So this is the historic moment for us, and
Yes,
this show that discrimination between men and women are not same.
true. That's true. Very good. Good examples.
Yeah, that's a very good example you've given.
Thank you.
So anybody,
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, sir.
Can we
Aisha,
try?
are you now ready with your camera? Would you like to attempt the question, Aisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, switch on your camera and attempt the question.
Hello.
Hello.
I have seen this discrimination while traveling, in traffic or during signal. Poor people come near car or whatever, and people are like, "Don't come near us" and all that. Go away, and it's very. I feel it.
No, we can't hear you anymore,
her
Aisha.
internet might not be
Her
good.
connectivity might.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do
Aisha, maybe you could type your answer.
Yes,
Prerna,
Prerna. Yes, you can.
sure, Prerna.
But Ayesha, you can type it so we can still hear what you want to say.
Yeah, she can type.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Prerna.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all good. How about you?
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad that this session is arranged and expressing our thoughts. I thought I would also take this opportunity. Um, Talking about discrimination, people would say this is very sad, but this incident of discrimination has been happened at my own house. My grandmother, she is of very old thoughts and all. So she, for once, was very sad when I was born because I was a girl child.
Ah,
My parents raised me up and made me this capable, and I'm very happy for that.
good.
And if you say that where I have seen the rights being followed, it's my own house, I will say.
Very
My parents have been very supportive to me, and not only me, they tell all of them to raise their girl child, whoever it is. I think even boys also. There may be some boys who haven't got their rights. So to give them their best so they can show their capabilities and reach their heights.
Good, good, excellent.
and especially because you shared from your own personal life,
Hmm.
it's very important. But I also, in the end, believe that you have to take responsibility and make it aware to other people, because
Yes,
That's
yes. And that's the reason my dad, my mom gives example of me everywhere, to tell them that not only a boy child, only also a girl child can be capable to do everything and anything.
good. You have good parents.
And
Okay,
I'm glad. Thank you.
thank you, Pranana. So we're going to move on to the next. Okay, Aisha, while we are stuck in traffic, I've seen people behaving badly towards people asking for some help. People in vehicles are like, go from here, don't stand, this and that. Yes, you're right. They're discriminating by being cruel to them because they're poor. So it's not fair. It's not right. And where have you seen it being followed? Okay, so now while you answer that, Dr. Kavita, can we move to the next right, please? The right to education.
Done.
Ah, before I'd even said it. Okay, everyone. Yes, getting body shamed by your own friends, true. Okay, everyone, if you can please click the right that Dr. Kavita has posted, the right to education, and watch that. And as soon as you've watched it, come back and let us know. Okay, great. That's good that you've watched it. So then, thank you, Rohit. So let's go with Rohit then. Rohit, where have you seen this right being broken? Where have you seen it being not followed? Rohit Chavan. Can you turn on your microphone, Rohit Chavan? No? Rohit, you don't want to do it?
Hello, sir.
Ah, hello, Rohit.
Hello, sir.
Hi. So
Hi, sir.
where have you seen this right being broken?
So, whatever the many poor people in my village, in that
Ah,
very much people are do not doing so good in a study because of they are very poor in our region. Hello, sir.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Which region is it?
What, sir?
Which region is it? Where are you from?
I am from sir Kolhapur in Maharashtra region.
Ah, okay. So and when you don't get educated, it causes so many problems. You know, like a
Yes, sir, because of the lack of electricity, lack of awareness of education, like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, true. So where have you seen this right being followed? Where have you seen it being given?
Sorry, sir, I don't understand your question.
Well, the right to education, where have you seen the right to education being given to people and being allowed for people to have?
Yes.
रोहित, जैसे कोल्हापुर में एजुकेशन नहीं मिला, वैसे कहाँ पर तुमको लगता है कि एजुकेशन अवेलेबल किया गया है, वो पूछ रहे हैं सर.
Sir, I think education is applicable to in very minimum regions like the Adivasi peoples. They should they should rights of they have a right of to education.
Yes, yes, we all have the right to education. I mean,
Yes, sir.
like luckily you are in university, right? So
Yes, sir.
luckily you have been given this right. So that's good, you know.
Yes.
Okay, that's good, Rohit. Thank you so much. There are
Thank
a lot
you.
of people who want to answer. One thing I want to take up as a joint opinion that is coming through a lot of girls is that they're saying that one thing that they notice is that the right to education is very, very common amongst the female or the girl child, where she's forced to get married when she's very young. And it's true. I mean, in villages, they are just considered to be even sometimes slaves. And yes, Pratisha says not only about girls, even boys are deprived of it. That they are said that they have to earn money at an early age, which is child labor. And
So let's pick someone else.
yeah,
Simran Chauhan. Can you turn on your microphone, Simran?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hello, Simran.
hi.
Hello,
Sheena,
sir. Hello, ma'am.
hi. Sheena is called Chauhan as well.
Yes, sir. Actually, I've seen this within my own, I'll say my family, because when I was born, as Prerna said, there's still discrimination within our own family. When I was born, my grandparents were like, what she'll do, she's just a girl child, she'll do nothing, she'll just end her life being married, and she's just a burden to us. And then my parents said, no, she's not a burden to us, and she'll prove you all wrong. And since then, I always try to make my parents proud. And also, I've seen this from Rajasthan. Actually, my native place is Rajasthan. And I've seen this discrimination in my own village too. When there was like a case in my village where a girl child was thrown like into the water. And yes, since then, I'll not say that it's not still developed, but since then there were many evolution, and yes, it's a better place now
Good.
in Rajasthan, but still in many places I can see this discrimination, and I want to take a step. And actually, my father runs an NGO.
Good.
The campaign. We launched a campaign in our village too, and we share an awareness about this human rights and all. So
Good.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please show your father our website.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. And I really, really appreciate the the hard work you're putting into, and making this society even much more better place to live for
Thank you.
we girls also. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Kavita, could you please see the next play the next human right, which is social security. Ah, great. Okay, now everyone, social security is a word or a phrase that not everybody knows what it means. So social security means when the government pays if you do not have food or if you do not if you are ill and you need hospital treatment, or if you don't have somewhere to stay, this is where the government pays for people's basic needs. That's what social security means.
Right.
So if everybody can watch this and then come back once they've watched it, that would be great. Start. Yes, during the pandemic, it definitely, social security has been most needed.
Especially the migrant crisis.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good point, Pratiksha. The whole migrant crisis occurred because of lack of the right of social security. Unfortunately, as everybody has agreed to, the main problem is the lack of awareness. And because of that lack of awareness, this problem arose. And I think, again, it comes down to creating more awareness. So
true.
Now you want to ask them the question?
Okay, Rohit Chavan, please turn on your microphone.
You just asked him.
Oh,
Answered already.
did we ask you before?
Yeah.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Can we have Renisha this time? She has been attempting to answer the previous questions as well.
Sorry, Rohit.
Sir, sir.
Maybe Renisha D'Souza.
Good, that would be
Renisha,
great.
please, sorry we missed you.
Renisha Olga
D'Souza, Renisha
D'Souza.
Yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good
evening. So where have you seen this right being broken?
Like it's at various places in India. If like you can't say in one place this happens. Social security is for various reasons. Like even as they said, migrant workers. It's very like when people need money, they don't get it, and then they don't. And when people who don't deserve the money, who can earn it, and I can't really explain, sir, but it's really difficult when someone who, like the migrant workers needed the money, sir, but they never got it. Because of it, so many of them died. It was very easy for all of us to give relief funds and help them out, but the funds that we sent them to was not helping them. I don't think it reached them also properly, sir. That's what I feel.
Yes, that's right. I mean, what happened was that the social security system that they had, because they're migrant workers, because they're working in Mumbai or Delhi, and they could only get their ration cards in their home village. So they had social security, but they couldn't access it. So the system is now being changed so that they can access it wherever they are, which is better, at least. So, Renisha, where have you seen social security being followed in India?
So when you see hospitals, when you see there are some municipal hospitals that we have, that is free. Like you don't need to pay for your health. Like your health checkups are free for the poor people. But it's even for those who have their Aadhaar card and their ration card. And only if you have them will you be able to get those help. But if you don't have them, you won't be able to get. So I've seen them in hospitals. I've seen them in ration shops. That means you can get your grocery, like basic necessities like rice, wheat, basically what people usually consume, what Indians usually consume. You get it at a lower cost, or if you're having a yellow ration card, even sometimes free. And various subsidies are there for them. That also is a social security for them. To the extent.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Sanika is asking, does social security include protection too?
What, Sanika, what type of protection do you mean?
Hello, sir.
Is that Hello, Sanika.
Hello. The protection, I mean, like, I have seen this news where in America or in some foreign countries, the small children take guns to the school and they like fire it. So, like, there was this one of our teacher in school who said us that, like, in America, they don't provide protection to the people.
Ah, okay. No, it doesn't cover that. It's just to do with food, shelter, and medical treatment. It doesn't include, protection from guns.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sanika.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Kainat Yashira.
Kainat, where?
Kainat Yashira.
Where is it?
Can you unmute yourself, Kainat Yashira? No?
But where is the name?
No, it's up. Ah, there. Oh, she's left the meeting. Okay.
She ran away with the moment we asked her. Should we go to the next, right?
Okay. Let's go to the next right.
Which is
Dr. Kavitz is going to put it up in half a second. See? No torture. Okay, everyone, please watch No Torture.
okay, great. That's wonderful. You all have watched it. Yes, to answer your question, domestic violence definitely comes under this domain. At the end of our conversation, we'll be sharing a link where you'll actually be able to avail of these podcasts, which we did with a lot of artists. Domestic violence was taken up by Nandita Das.
Ashwini Iyer Tiwari.
Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, who made Neel Bate Sannate and Panga, and she did a lot of beautiful films. So we'll share that with you. You can also listen to the podcasts that are around these issues. And we also want you to help and volunteer if you are interested in joining the cause. But we'll come to that. Let's finish talking about No Torture.
Okay, so Date Arati, or is it Date Arati? Could you please...
Arti, Date Arti.
Date Arti, could you please turn on your microphone? Date Arti.
Yes, Arti Date.
Oh, Aarti Date.
Oh, Arti Date?
Or maybe Nikki, you want to take that question? Even you've been waiting to answer.
Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Hello, Niti.
Hello, sir.
How
Good
are you?
evening. I'm
Hi.
doing great. How about you?
Okay. So where have you seen this right being broken?
I think when there are females who are beaten up at their homes, or just for speaking up for something, for voicing their opinions, they are beaten up, and people in the society try to normalize it, though it isn't really, because people would say that it's something that if your husband is hitting you, it's your husband, his right or something, which is not really fair. And I think even when we are demoralizing someone, like, it's a form of mental torture to
True.
keep demotivating someone.
Very true. And where have you seen this right being followed?
I think in schools and colleges, when there are teachers or even our friends who are trying to motivate us. Sometimes if we give up on something, they will tell us that no, you can do it. Give it an attempt, maybe.
Ah, good. Yes, that's like the opposite of torture.
Yeah.
Ah, good. Very good. Thank you, Niti.
Thank you so much, sir.
A lot of people have said that they have the violence against scheduled castes, the Dalits. Yes, that's a very good point. A lot of people have spoken about domestic violence. They're constantly saying that's torture, no torture. And actually, that was a podcast, No Torture by Ashwani Iyer Tiwari. We did on domestic violence. And yes, it has risen during the lockdown hugely. So it's
And
not.
there's
Okay.
also police, like police beating is also torture,
Yeah.
like being beaten on the street when you first went out for lockdown. This is torture as well.
Yes, and then some people are saying against children, the urban
Yes,
areas, torture
true.
should be more striked on.
True. Mandeep Bath. Can you turn on your microphone, Mandeep Bath?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mandeep. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm fine. What about you?
Okay. So, Mandeep, where have you seen this right being broken?
Basically, I have seen in India, like near to my home, people are just beating their childs to make themselves calm. So I think that is a type of torture, and we cannot help them, guys. Even we cannot call the police because this right haven't mentioned over here. But in America, my native are living there, and they said that we cannot harm our own child. They can call to the police.
Yes. Well,
I think
actually, you can in India as well. You can. I know it might not be as easy, but there are government programs that look out for, children who've been abandoned, and you can report it to the police. I know what you're saying; it's different, but you still can.
Yeah. But here people are a little scared of that. Obviously, people are speaking that it's our own matter. Don't put your nose in it and mind your own business like that.
Yes, you're right, which is why people need to communicate. Ultimately, the solution is communication.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good answer. So, where have you seen this right being followed?
Uh, Basically, I think so. In abroad countries, they are following these things, and yeah, I think this right should be followed in India too. That nobody can harm their own child or torture anybody.
Yes, it's very, very important. Very, very
Yes, sir.
important.
Yes, sir.
Ah, okay, good. Thank you, Mandeep.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. So should we go on to responsibility?
Well, we've actually got no slavery first.
Okay.
Haha, Dr. Cavita did it immediately. Okay, everyone, please watch No Slavery.
Great.
Okay, great. So we'd like to ask Siddhartha Pandya.
Yes, sir.
You're very fast.
Sir, I'm from mobile, so it's handy, right? I'm operating from mobile, so it's handy.
Also, you're a computer game player.
Yes. Sort of.
Fast with your fingers, playing beat 'em up games.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, Siddhartha, where have you seen this right being broken?
Sir, many Syrian migrants, they are migrating to European countries, and in those when they are migrating, those ship, those ship crew members, they treat them like it's they are not in any state. They are not given food for days, and they are kept in very bad condition.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. One thing to watch out for is something called bonded labor, which is a system where if somebody ever says to you, oh, come and work for me, and you work for 1 year, and I don't pay you for 1 year, but I will pay you later, then don't do that, because this is a form of slavery.
Yes, sir. It is happening somewhere.
Yeah.
And my family member has such condition that he is paid very less for what he
Yes.
does.
Okay, Siddhartha, so where have you seen this right being followed or being allowed? People have been stopping other people being put into slavery.
Sir, NGOs do that they spread awareness, and then many corporate offices do many webinars to improve the awareness of their employees.
Good, very good. Thank you, Siddhartha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Okay, Geetika Preman, please turn on your microphone.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, Geetika. Good evening. So where have you seen this right being broken?
Actually, I would like to talk about a reformer, and I read about a few stories about Sri Narayan Guru from South India. So there we had this sect, religious sect called as Idavas. They were actually treated as slaves. As in, if you're born in that caste, you will be treated as slaves. You have to take up all the jobs. You are not allowed to take in, education, educate yourself. So that's where I saw this right being broken, and it's still being broken in some areas just because you're coming from a lower sect of the society.
That's an interesting point, because when somebody has been made a slave, that means that all of their other rights have been taken away. These people weren't allowed education. They were discriminated against. A slave is somebody who has all their rights taken away. So where have you seen this right being followed, people have been allowed their freedom?
Now in today's generation, as people are getting more educated, the so-called religious beliefs have been fading away little by little. So I think in today's society, people are allowing everyone to take up education, and hence the rate of slavery is decreasing simultaneously.
Exactly, very true. That's the importance of education.
Good point.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's watch the next one now. By the way, all of your comments are very good. Everything you're saying in the comments are very good. Dalit women, lower caste people treated as a slave. Muskan says that's true. Ranisha, sex slavery from poor background girls and even boys, yes. Pranana, not only lower caste today, society is being cruel. That Everyone is facing it. Well, I get what you're saying. I think we also have to look at that many people in society are also good and also helpful. But yes, it's true that it's not just lower caste people who face it. Lots of people do face slavery. That's true. Okay, so let's, Dr. Kavita?
She's already posted the link.
Oh, so the next one is the right to privacy. Please watch the right to privacy. Okay, great. Thank you. So Sonali Singh 76, please turn on your microphone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, Sonali. Can you hear us, Sonali?
Sir, I cannot hear you clearly.
Okay, okay. So Sonali, can you type your answer, please? Where have you seen this right being broken?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. You can turn off your microphone now.
Geetika
Thank
can
you.
answer. Geetika can answer.
Okay, Geetika?
Praman.
She just answered.
Oh, true,
Yeah.
true.
Maybe we can have Rushiraj Shinde.
Okay.
Rushiraj.
Only the girls are answering. Where are the boys?
Too shy.
That's why I selected a boy. Maybe you can pick up someone else.
Okay. So, who hasn't spoken, Dr. Kavita?
Sanika?
Okay. Sanika, please, please tell us. Please turn off your microphone, Sonali. Sonali.
Priyankal, can you mute Sonali Singh? Just mute her. It's causing disturbance.
Sonali says, in today's life, some of the parents involved in many of this, meaning breaking privacy. Yes, that's true, Sonali. That's true. So, Sonali, where have you seen this right being followed? Where have you seen this right being allowed to have privacy? That's your next question. Dr. Kavita, you said that Sanika Duskar has not spoken yet?
Oh, yes, she hasn't. But I think she might be facing some technical issue. Can we have Vaibhav Bane? Yes, Vaibhav Bane.
Sure, Vaibhav, yeah.
Sanika, yes, you're audible. Switch on your camera and you can attempt the question. Okay, your volume is also quite low. Maybe you can drop a message, drop your answer in the chat box. I would like Vaibhav Bane to take up the question, please.
Yeah, Vaibhav.
Sonali, yes, good. That's good that in college it's followed. That's good.
Hello. There, ma'am. Social networking sites. There are a lot of social hackers on social networking sites that take away privacy. So they are hacking our accounts and our messages.
Very true. Very good answer. And where have you seen this right being followed? Where have you seen it being allowed?
In crimes, sir, crimes. There are a lot of crimes around the world regarding the social networking because of social networking. So that may cause our privacy, sir.
Are you saying that the criminals? I didn't understand the last answer.
Crime in crime.
Yes, but how is that the right to privacy being allowed? Vibhav?
Vaibhav, the question is, where have you seen this right being executed or being followed? Right to privacy कहाँ पर देखी है follow करते हुए? That's what you have to answer. I think a lot of data is being kept confidential with the psychologists or these super specialized doctors, etc. That could be one right to privacy.
That's true. Vaishnavi says in hospitals this right is followed. That's true.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Sir, I am a science student. Sir, in clinical trials, sir, the patient privacy should maintain the informed consent form and all. That privacy is maintained in that field also, sir.
Exactly. Good. That's good. Thank you, Vibhav.
Great. So now we are coming to our last two rights, which we are going to show you. We would love to show all 30, but unfortunately, we could only show you. Okay, we're going to show you freedom of expression, and then we are going to come to responsibility, which we'll post next. So let's watch the right which Dr. Kavita has just posted.
Dr. Kavita, could you post it again, please? Because some people gave some good answers, and then that bumped it down. Great. Everybody, please watch Freedom of Expression.
And then we will come to responsibility, which is going to be a wrap up. So please stay with us because this is the most important part of the webinar. Okay, this one is a very important right, which is freedom of expression, because we all have ideas, we are all unique, and you have yeah. So maybe Siddhi, we can ask Siddhi.
Siddhi Cade, please turn on your microphone.
Siddhi Khade.
Hello, this is Siddhi Khade from SYIC. Good afternoon. So good evening, sorry.
Hi.
So I would like to say about recently an incident took place in our friends group. We were talking about something, and then one person said one thing, and another person said another thing. That was totally a difference of opinion, but then it ended up ugly. I guess it's like they turned out to into an argument. It turned out into an argument. Like I don't think there's no one is right here or no one is wrong.
Good point.
Okay, so yeah, the person A was right in his way, and person B was right in his own way. But then it ended up being something different, and uh, now we resolved it. But I wanted to say is like everyone has their own opinions, and it is good to have their own opinion, and it is good to share what you feel. But we should not be like if I feel this, you should also feel the same, or like something like that.
Exactly. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Each person has the right to their own thought and to express that thought as long as it doesn't damage somebody else. Like as long as it doesn't, as long as your expression doesn't take away the rights of someone else, then you're completely free to communicate. And it's only by communicating that we can solve our problems. So you're right. Now, where have you seen this right to freedom of expression being allowed?
Except from this one, I guess in the household, in every typical Indian household, the children are not allowed to say what they feel out. If we talk something, we are said to be back answering them. If we try to keep our points, we are said to be back answering our parents. And we are said to not obeying them. We are said to be disrespecting them. And I think this is not right. We are not trying to disrespect them, but we are trying to keep our opinions.
Yes, yes, that's very true. It's much more healthy for your children's mental health to allow them to communicate. Now, where have you seen this right being followed? Like, where have you seen people being given the right to freedom of expression?
Uh, I didn't get your question. Are you asking that if I have seen it being violated or if I have seen it being followed?
Being followed.
I guess there's a friend of mine. She's a friend. She's not in our college, but she's and she has a very good uh, right of expressing what she feels. Whenever I go to her place and I see her parents, whatever they have to discuss, they discuss it with her,
Great.
accepting all of her opinions and her points, what she wants to say. And I think that is where I've seen it being followed, right to expression.
Good, very good.
Also in our colleges, when we are planning out some the events, the college departmental events, we plan out departmental events, all the seniors and faculties and all of we juniors, and we all come together and we discuss, and the seniors seem to be receiving all of our opinions. So that's where I see this being followed.
Good. Isn't that nice to have that feeling?
Yes,
A
yes,
lot.
it's very good to have such supportive seniors and faculties.
Exactly.
One thing I want to say is that, it's very important to respect each other's opinions and ideas, because as somebody said rightly, that there is no right and wrong, and you're made up of your own ideas, like Einstein and all the amazing things, the inventions that came about to be because somebody had an idea. So please, it's very important that we respect each other's ideas and opinions and don't make each other wrong, because that's violation of the freedom of expression.
True.
However, if you're not, following it and you are making other people wrong for expressing, then you are violating their right.
True.
So,
let's move on now. Dr. Cavita, we didn't give you these two,
but we are posting.
But we're going to post them together. If everybody can watch both of these videos, these are the last two videos, and they're the most important videos. Last two. Please watch both of these, and then come back.
Okay, great. So everybody's watched it. Now, I'm going to define the term responsibility because that's a very important a part of the program, which means a moral obligation to behave correctly towards or in respect of. That's the first definition. And the second
Which is
definition.
it's difficult to understand that definition. A moral obligation. So moral means basically what is something that is good for society, something that a moral is a lesson that people have learned over a long time, which helps the survival of the race or mankind. So something that is moral is generally agreed upon to be good. An obligation is what we should do. It's what we in fact have a duty to do. So a responsibility is a moral obligation to behave correctly towards something. So if you have a responsibility, it means if you want to be a good person, or in order to be a good person, you really should do this thing.
Which is
that's what responsibility means.
In this case, uphold these 30 rights. And the second thing is, second definition is that Article 29, which you all watched right now, which means that we have a duty to other people and we should protect their rights and freedoms. I understand that we are privileged and we know our rights, or we at least are educated about our rights, or we have the common sense. But there are a lot of people who don't know their rights. So how can you take responsibility in your respective areas or whatever you're doing to bring about or create this awareness?
That's actually the question. So the question is, what can you do to help more people be aware of their human rights? Maybe you can answer that question in the comments.
Or somebody can.
Okay, Karan Veti, please turn on your microphone.
Karan, yes, Karan.
Karan.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hi, Karan.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Hi.
so one of the example would be like you conducting seminars like this would be a great example of right to responsibility and sharing our rights with others, because many of the rights even we being educated didn't know very much.
Yes, exactly. Good answer. Thank you.
Anyone else? You can just unmute
Let's
yourself.
go for Sajal Kia.
Sejal Kheer.
Sajal Kia.
Sejal?
Sejal, are you there?
Priya, you want to answer? Please answer. Priya Sharma.
Priya Sharma, please turn on your microphone.
Yes, guys. Maybe network issues. Okay. Maybe Tisha Jain, would you like to attempt that question? Tisha? Or Tanvi Pavaskar?
Yeah, just feel free to answer.
TV commercials can have an influence, that's true. Carrying out a campaign, yes.
More so, rather than around you, what can you do about it?
We can post the 30 rights in social media, yes. Please do that. Please post the 30 rights on your social media.
You can post the link we shared.
TED Talks, yes, you can do a TED Talk, that's very true. We can join some NGOs, help illiterate people, yes, definitely you can do that. Responsibility, we should understand every boy and girl, because not any single girl and boy get raped in our country. This is responsibility, how we should make it. Yes, true. Ayesha, we should be responsible to make this earth a better place. That's very true, very important. Geetika says we should speak up about it in our home first. Yes. Ayesha says we should make a video about human rights. That's true. Sonali says first we should start with our own family. That will help more in our lives. That's very true. Ranisha says we should visit the rural areas. Yes. Prana says we should Prerna says we should make our family aware of it first. Very true. Simran says we can gather the youth and can launch campaigns. Yes, very true. Shrutika says on basic level we can make changes in our family by communicating and Respect each other, yes. Muskan, we should spread awareness of the 30 rights. Yes, please spread awareness of the 30 rights.
You have the link with you, so that is a huge way you can share that link and the videos on it. Please, also you can go and watch the rest of the 30 rights. That will be great. And we would like, with the permission of Dr. Kavita, to share, we are looking for volunteers because we have a lot of stuff that we want to do. And our main goal is to bring education as a mandatory, human rights education, make it mandatory in the system, school system of India. Besides giving these webinars, maybe you could help us set up these more webinars. Maybe you could join a campaign. At the end of it, we could give you a CSR certificate from our organization for being a volunteer. So if Dr. Kavita permits, we can post the email ID or what would you say, Doctor?
Yes, definitely it is possible. The whole idea of this, taking this concept forward and making more and more people aware of it. We are into it. In fact, Khalsa has a small unit called as Leo Khalsa, which is into social activities. Contributing our ways through the students to the community back. So, like we did some beach cleanings, we did awareness talks, we have done some of the other such activities as well. So we can take this up as well, and maybe social platform is the biggest platform to reach out to more number of masses.
Great.
So through Leo Club we can definitely take it forward to many people. And as you said, maybe individuals, some volunteers, they can who are inclined to work in this area, who have the zest to take it forward and put in the efforts. Probably they can, under your guidance, join your hands and maybe learn more, contribute more.
Thank you, Dr. Cavitas. How can I give my email address, and anybody who wants to volunteer would just email me, or how should we do it?
Or I can just put across the questions to the participants. Whoever's interested, they can get in touch with me. I can get their names and I can put it across to you.
Great. So anybody who wants to help to promote human rights, to spread awareness of human rights as volunteers, please contact Dr. Kavita.
And your name and your email ID or your name and number, whatever. And then the idea is to do it honestly as a part of taking responsibility for spreading the campaign in terms of like things like we would be looking at would be helping us set up webinars. There are lots of activities which we are doing. We would love you to be a part of. Also, we want to share with you the podcast link. We'll put it here. You can copy paste it. Sure, Priya, please get in touch with Dr.
Karen, basically what we need to do is to help spread human rights to schools and universities. So it would be one of the first tasks would be to contacting other schools and universities and offering them a free online human rights course.
Maybe like a spokesperson talking on our behalf and setting up these. Also, maybe you can help while we do these webinars, you can be a part of it and help and get trained. Eventually, we want you to be the advocates and be able to conduct awareness programs like this. So, and we have a lot of more other programs coming up. We're going to make these English films in Hindi. So that will happen anyway. So volunteering in all levels.
Thank you. So I just want to give you 2 more links. You don't have to watch this. We're not going to ask you questions, but it's more for fun, really. So this is a song, a human rights song. And this was how our organization was started, with a song. And then if you really want to really get in depth about human rights, then this is a podcast. We have done this podcast with celebrities, like we had tomorrow we have Manoj Vajpayee talking about the right to democracy.
So you can come on to this hubhopper.com podcast bond. We put the link. You can copy paste this link. And
last week we had Ravina Tandon. She was talking about the right to a fair and free world. The week before that we had Sonu Sood. He was talking about the right to food and shelter. And there's lots of other celebrities. The right to education was taken up by Sonakshi Sinha. You can listen to all of them talk for about 40 minutes about human rights on that podcast.
Okay, now the last thing I want to quickly ask you all, and you all can answer it on the messages, type it in, is that what was the most important thing that you learned from this presentation? Because it will give us like, what did you get out of it, or what did you take back? So that will also give us some feedback, and then we can end it. So please feel free to post your answers and we can probably read out some of it. What was the most important thing that you learned from the presentation and how will you use the information? So Neeti says she wasn't aware of the rights, especially right to privacy. Renisha says we're responsible for our rights. Priyanshi says we should, where should we fill the feedback form?
Oh, in these comments.
Just a comment. The role of human rights, Geetika says, is that we ignored. Yes, Prerna said that she learned that there's still more rights which they're not aware of. Priya says you didn't know about the right to privacy. Now they know. The right to live is a much better way. Aisha says recollected rights that we forget after school. Good. Sonali said each and everything will be helpful in day-to-day life. Great.
Simran said we should be more aware of the human rights and should apply in our life as well as make others aware of it.
Renisha says I can step forward to educate others, which is taking responsibility. Very good.
Samiksha, it was very helpful as we are not aware about all our rights. Devankshi, spread the awareness of human rights and follow as and when possible. Yes, true. Neeti, some of us have such easy access to these rights that we have been taking it for granted. Very true.
Thank you for the wonderful session. You're welcome. Maria says you got to know their rights by feeling the right to rights. Karan says came to know many rights were violated in daily life and felt good after being educated. Priyanka says they understand our rights and can further help others.
Your team, we can be helped if we get deprived of human rights. Okay, thank you all. You've all given very good answers, very good feedback. And we want to thank Dr. Kavita very much for having us. And Guru Nanak University, which we love this university. We came and visited and we had a great time, and we can't wait until the virus has been, have all the rights of the virus has been taken away, because the virus is not a human, so it has no rights. We want it to be gone.
I just want to say that we are not able to take everybody's individual names, but what most of them are saying, they were not aware of their rights, and now they can stand up for it and help create the awareness.
Good.
So that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita.
It was my pleasure, and I can see it was useful for all the students. And it's not always, I mean, what we study. I mean, in college, I teach science. We all faculties are engaging them into science. But there is a society that we have to give back to. It's not that we can just take from the society. We cannot just learn and have all the knowledge. But what's the point if we cannot contribute in our own ways? So that was, our way of creating awareness amongst the students. Thanks to you guys for enlightening them, and in fact, us, I would say even the faculties. So I think, yes, it was a good session. I can see it from the way it was very, very interactive. So thanks again to you for human rights.
Thank you. And remember, if you want to volunteer, contact Dr. Kavita. Tell Dr. Kavita today we want to volunteer.
I've already seen some of the messages.
Great.
I've received some of the messages, yeah. So as and when I get the complete list, I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, if you can give us the numbers, and when we do campaigns, we can get in touch, and it can be a part of the CSR activity of the Guru Nanak Lions department. Department.
Leo Club. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Okay then. Thank you. Bye.
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 So the students, yes, you all can also vacate the class.
बंद कर दो लाइव सेशन हो गया.
Yes.
Yes sir, बंद कर दीजिए. Yes, thank you sir.
Feedback link, we will post it.
So ma'am, I have posted it in the WhatsApp group, and the link is also there in the description box of the YouTube. So they can find it from there. Yes ma'am.
Yes. So
And
only
also
after
the
you fill in the feedback form, only then you will receive the certificates.
Yes ma'am.
Okay.